Join your host, Phil Phillips, on a close-range archery hunt for big bulls in Wyoming. And we'll also join America's Wounded Warriors in New Mexico on a late-season rifle hunt on this week's episode of Phil Phillips Unleashed.
Hunting has always been my way of life. It's my profession. It's my passion. It's what I do best. My life's been captured on film so I can share it with you. I'm Phil Phillips, and this is my story. I hope you'll join me.
I'm a cowboy. I'm a worldwide cowboy. And there ain't no way you're ever gonna slow me down. I said, ooh, ooh, ooh. I said, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Folks, on today's show, I'm going to invite you to join me in Wyoming for one of my favorite hunts in the world, archery elk during the rut. There's just nothing like hunting bull elk during the rut. When they're screaming, they come in, the steam's coming out, they're tearing up trees, they're very aggressive, and they're very callable, which makes it a perfect archery hunt.
Fun. It's our first morning here in Wyoming. I'm not gonna let Daniel off that easy. We're gonna make him work a little bit more before I take a bull like that. The herd bull's still down over the hill and he sounds big. That was a really nice 5-point Brian, 3-year-old. And, you know, I don't know, but I think we can probably do better than that. Since the first day we're gonna try again. It was too much fun to get over with that quick. Good job, Billy brought it right to us. You did an awesome job, Bill, right now. Perfect. He's probably 22 yards at the closest. Did he even know you right now? No, not the bugle in his face. I could see him screaming. I could see the steam just going through. It was beautiful. It was fun. If I'd have been on a general gun in Colorado, I'd have shot that bull. Really? But I know you guys got some nice bulls on this ranch. It's the first morning, so yeah, we don't want to mess with him. The first morning we got the herd bulls down over there. He sounds good. He's gonna, yeah, if we can get in on him, maybe the banker out behind him and try and suck him down to us. That's what we need to do. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, it was fun though, man. That's what I live for. That's...
More exciting elk hunting action in Wyoming right after the break on Phil Phillips Unleashed. Phil Phillips Unleashed is brought to you by Scentlock, Easton, the Mule Deer Foundation, True Fire. Products more archers trust. Shiver Shield hunting and work clothing. Conquer the cold in comfort. Go to shivershield.com. Montana Decoy. In Mississippi, find your true South.
Many times, record book bucks cause you to stray off the grid where few weekend warriors care to go. Hunters like Pete Alfano knows the quest for the best requires supreme skill, dedication, and the best gear. The ScentLock Headhunter system answers the call by providing superior scent control technology that's ready for almost any situation. An advanced soft shell resists weather and remains tough and quiet under the most extreme conditions, while articulated arms, shoulders, and knees allow for maximum range of movement when it's on the line. ScentLock. Taste victory.
I've bow hunted all over the world. I've harvested everything from a small coos deer to a 2,000-pound Asiatic buffalo. Accuracy and penetration are the two most important things I want out of an arrow. My micro-diameter Axis arrows provide better penetration for quicker kills and bigger blood trails. Hey, if you want a harder hitting arrow, pick yourself up a dozen Axis at a local dealer today.
I love to hunt elk. Before I go on a guided elk hunt, I want to make sure my outfitter has good property and a good reputation. And Daniel Richens has all the above. He's got properties in Utah, Wyoming, and Montana. But the Wyoming property has been very well known for its archery success on really quality 300 plus class bulls.
After having a close encounter with a bugling bull on the first morning of his hunt, Phil decides to pass, hoping to get a closer look at the herd bull that is bugling a couple hundred yards away. The plan was to get above the elk as quickly as possible and cut them off on their way to bed for the afternoon. Phil and his guide, Daniel Richens, chased the herd for the remainder with no luck, so they decided to come back later that evening and try to head off the herd as they emerged from their beds. Daniel and Phil set up along the edge of a meadow just above the herd, hoping to get a closer look at the bull they were chasing earlier in the day. Just as Daniel had hoped, the cows start filtering through the meadow and the herd bull is close behind. The herd is heading directly towards Phil, but something has the lead cow on edge, and the rest of the herd is on high alert. The cows slip out the side of the meadow, taking the big bull with them.
Decided to set up here and just wait and see what happened. We thought that bull was over there. We didn't know they were going to come right across the meadow. Three of us coming through one spot. I'm sure they picked up just enough of something to take them out of here. That's a really nice bull. Man.
Phil and Daniel stay hot on the heels of the big bull. They'll have to slip into the timber to set up, making sure they stay downwind of the herd. Calling a herd bull away from his cows is no easy task, and with decades of elk hunting experience under his belt, Phil knows he'll have to get in close to the herd if he's going to have any chance of calling the wise old bull in for a shot. Daniel and Phil work the bull with cow calls, hoping to draw him into the open. The big herd bull emerges from the timber, but stops just inside the tree line. After giving Phil a look at his huge rack, he slips back into the timber and out of sight. After the break, Phil joins a couple of wounded warriors on an elk hunt in New Mexico.
Many times, record book bucks cause you to stray off the grid where few weekend warriors care to go. Hunters like Pete Alfano knows the quest for the best requires supreme skill, dedication, and the best gear. The ScentLock Headhunter system answers the call by providing superior scent control technology that's ready for almost any situation. An advanced softshell resists weather and remains tough and quiet under the most extreme conditions, while articulated arms, shoulders, and knees allow for maximum range of movement when it's on the line. ScentLock. Taste victory.
I've bow hunted all over the world. I've harvested everything from a small coos deer to a 2,000-pound Asiatic buffalo. Accuracy and penetration are the two most important things I want out of an arrow. My micro-diameter axis arrows provide better penetration for quicker kills and bigger blood trails. Hey, if you want a harder-hitting arrow, pick yourself up a dozen axis at a local dealer today.
You know, in December 2011, I got a chance to go on a devil dog hunt in New Mexico with a bunch of wounded warriors. And every hunt I go on special, and if I'm working with guys trying to get them elk, helping guide, it's always fun. But I tell you, there's something really special about going out with this group.
Many of our active duty service members and veterans are avid hunters. Many of those returning home who have been wounded in battle are anxious to get back in the field regardless of the challenges they face. Honored American Veterans Afield and Freedom Hunters, two nonprofit organizations dedicated to providing hunting, fishing, and outdoor activities for our wounded warriors, recently arranged an elk hunt in New Mexico. Our heroes were treated to an all-expense-paid elk hunt, and Phil Phillips quickly jumped at the chance to lend a hand. On the first morning of the hunt, Phil joined Joe Ferguson, a Marine who lost his right leg in an IED attack while deployed in Afghanistan.
You know, Anthony Pace invited me out here for Freedom Hunters and to film all this, and it's always great to work with you guys, and the way you guys are motivated to do the things you do. It's great to be involved in this kind of hunt, but how'd you get involved in this deal?
I'd done a lot with the Wounded Warrior Project, and they knew I liked hunting, and I guess that a name got thrown down, and I got a phone call from Anthony and said, hey, you want to go hunt some elk? And I said, my pleasure.
It's a great program, and I mean, obviously, you'd agree, because, I mean, what an opportunity for anybody, but to give you guys an opportunity kind of makes me feel like we're giving some back, because you guys do so much for us.
Yeah, I definitely want to thank the landowners here in northern New Mexico for letting us come hunt their elk, and having a part of this, it's absolutely amazing.
After searching for elk all morning, Joe and Phil are stalking a herd in knee-deep snow, trying to close the distance. After reaching the top of the hill, Joe spots the herd. The hunters are spotted and the herd spooks. When they stop to look back, Joe settles the crosshairs on a lone cow.
I think that one worked. He went straight down the track. This guy, we went on a heck of a hike. We saw these cows. How far did we go? 400 or 500 yards and through fairly deep snow. And you can tell them, you know, people may not even notice you go so well, why that's a big deal.
During a deployment one year to Afghanistan with the Marine Corps, I lost my right leg in a IED explosion and having to get around on a hobble log and peg leg now. And
you'd never know it, man. I saw him do a little foot race earlier in the snow, and it's impressive. These guys got such a great attitude. Works hard, and we were up on the hill, and this thing dropped right out of sight, and then managed to get up and come down the hill a ways farther. So we got a job ahead of us, but got over the hill. She's laying here, and beautiful big old cow, and helping with the management on a beautiful ranch, and it just doesn't get much better than this. What a great day! Did you have a little fun?
I had a lot of fun. Phil, this was great, absolutely great.
To learn more about how you can help our wounded warriors to continue enjoying the outdoors, visit honoredveterans.org and freedomhunters.org.
Well, one thing I enjoy almost as much as shooting elk is calling elk. And on this hunt, I had my good friend Steve Brasda along, and the first morning they'd gotten into a really good bull. We managed to get past him to his bedding area before they could get a shot. So we made a plan that evening. We're going to gang up on that big bull, do a little bit of more call, and try to drag him in front of us. So we worked down the mountain, trying to find a place to set up, and he bugled. We knew we had it set up just perfect. We moved down a little bit farther for our first setup and started to call.
Phil and guide Daniel Richens have set up Steve Brasda between them and the elk. The herd bull is ripping off bugles left and right as the guides try to call him in. A couple of soft cow calls by Phil is all this big bull could handle, and he takes the bait. The big bull comes within bow range, but Steve couldn't get a shot through the timber, and the bull disappears out of sight.
Did you get him? If he'd have just come on this side of that deadfall.
Many times, record book bucks cause you to stray off the grid where few weekend warriors care to go. Hunters like Pete Alfano knows the quest for the best requires supreme skill, dedication, and the best gear. The ScentLock Headhunter system answers the call by providing superior scent control technology that's ready for almost any situation. An advanced soft shell resists weather and remains tough and quiet under the most extreme conditions, while articulated arms, shoulders, and knees allow for maximum range of movement when it's on the line. ScentLock. Taste victory.
I've bow hunted all over the world. I've harvested everything from a small coos deer to a 2,000-pound Asiatic buffalo. Accuracy and penetration are the two most important things I want out of an arrow. My micro-diameter Axis arrows provide better penetration for quicker kills and bigger blood trails. Hey, if you want a harder hitting arrow, pick yourself up a dozen Axis at a local dealer today.
Phil Phillips Unleashed is brought to you by ScentLock, Easton, the Mule Deer Foundation, True Fire, products more archers trust, Shiver Shield Hunting and Work Clothing. Conquer the cold in comfort. Go to shivershield.com. Montana Decoy. In Mississippi, find your true south.
The last morning of the hunt, we heard a bunch of elk way down below us that we didn't think ever came up to their normal bedding area. So that evening we made a plan to start low and work our way up. We got down in, I made a call. I was on an open ridge thinking the elk would be just above us, and they bugled clear down below us. We looked down a sagebrush flat and there was the whole herd, and they were already coming up to the call. So we ran back down into the trees, stuck the decoys up, and tried to get set up before the elk got there.
Phil and Daniel were able to slip in on the herd very quickly, and it didn't take long until the bugling bull was right on top of them. The bull is locked in on the Montana decoy, but he's quartering hard towards Phil. He'll need to turn broadside to give Phil a shot. Phil's cow calls stopped the bull, but he'll have to thread the arrow through a small gap in the aspens to find the bull's vitals.
I think I got him good, but man, I threaded it between two aspens this wide. He stopped in just the front of his chest, right between those aspens. And I held and held. I just tried to keep the pin between those two aspens. As soon as he started to go, I shot. It sounded good when I turned. It looked like it was good. Right and left was good. Whew, that was, if you couldn't hear my heart pounding, I think the bull good. And right there's a big splash. Looked up on this tree. If you go straight down the direction he went on the very next aspen tree, it's just crimson. We may not have enough light when we get down there. We'll hold flashlights for you, but we're going to go see if we can find this bull real quick, because I think he's down. How awesome is this? He's a 4x6. And I couldn't be any happier, man. Thanks, Daniel.
Nice
We
shot.
pulled that one off.
Nice shot.
We're in Wyoming. This is my first Wyoming bull. I passed up a bull the first morning that was the next stage class down from this one.
Yeah.
And boy, once again, I'm tickled. Aubrey's not going to have to shoot me for passing up a bull on TV. Because we pulled it off. Look at the body on this guy.
He's a toad, isn't he?
Unreal.
Well, I think you'll have to agree. There's not much more exciting than hunting bull elk with a bow. Sure hope you enjoyed today's elk hunt, and I hope you'll join me again next time. Till then, your host, Phil Phillips, and always remember these three things. Be safe, practice good conservation, and always leave it better than you found it. See you next time.
I'm a cowboy. I'm a worldwide cowboy. And there ain't no way you're ever gonna slow me down. I said, ooh, ooh, ooh.